Yo, what's going on, good people? I'm your host, Steve Holmes, and you're watching another episode of The Real. Thank you all for joining me tonight on, I guess, a kind of an important night. There's been some things have happened and transpired over the last week or so, and we got to talk about it. We gotta get into it. But I just really want to thank you all for tuning into the show. And we do this every week. I imagine there will be some people here tonight that don't normally be here because they trying to be nosy. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good because you're here, and that's all that matters. So I thank y'all for tuning in again. And we have something tonight is going to be a little bit different because of the way we ended the show last week, and I really did want to make sure that you all got a chance to chime in on anything school related. Obviously last week we were talking about band. I really do want to make sure that we have the ability to talk about the things, and so that's what this platform is for. It's giving you all somewhere to just be heard about whatever. It ain't always got to be bad stuff. It ain't always got to be drama, and it ain't always got to be, that kind of stuff. But sometimes I get it. It goes with the territory, and so that aside, we're gonna have a little family powwow tonight, and we're gonna talk about the thing, and what happened last week. Because I do have some thoughts on that, and we'll get to that in a second. Let me check into the comments. Listen, if this is your first time here, you're on YouTube, I do respond to comments. I post comments. I'm like a pastor. Listen, I need to know y'all are out there and that y'all hear me, so hop up in the comments, let me know you're there. And yeah, we got Mr. Wilkerson. How you doing, sir? Hell Wildcats, my good sis, she there every week. What's up? Lucretia, good evening. And my brother, Gerard, how you doing, man? You live. Listen, you picked a good one to come live to. And it's our social media manager right there, my brother Steve, the other Steve. And then we got Freeman. What's up, brother? Hail Wildcats. And a longtime favorite. That's the Ron right there. So yeah, throughout the night I'll be getting into y'all. And listen, I have a new setup tonight. I'm testing out a new controller for the show because I wanted to make sure we didn't have any issues with the call-in segment, and we'll be doing that on the back half of the show. And so I have a new device here, so y'all please take my mistakes tonight in love. I'm hoping that I got everything tested correctly, and so we should be all right there. Nonetheless, let's get to it. I start my shows the same way I start the show every week. We have certain people that are called our real MVPs, and I don't think, did I load them in? I did not. There are some real MVPs. Let me explain them real quick, but I am running into an issue because all right, it won't let me change it. Give me one sec, y'all. I just need to. All right, my apologies. We had some people. My real MVPs are the people who contribute to the show, and I give them a shout out every week. And I thought I uploaded the graphic and I didn't. So Eric, Adrian, Vernon, Theron. A couple of names I do remember. Danelle, I did have an anonymous donation, and there might have been one or two others. Oh, Miss Tundra, always. She supports the show, and so those names are not shown, but I promise you, I'll tag them in my stories tonight. I'm sorry, I thought I had the regular one updated. My bad. Our real MVPs are people who financially contribute to the show. We are a grassroots organization, and so we have expenses. Because of you guys' contributions, I was able to upgrade my system here to help us have this phone dialogue tonight. It'd be a little cleaner than it's been in the past. And so, yeah, that's all done and possible because people contribute to the show. No amount is too big or small. We've had 5, 10, 20, 30, some large donations. So it don't matter. If you want to contribute to the show, support the show, you have our Cash App tag down at the bottom. It says the AV at $ the AV BCU. No pressure there. If you don't want to contribute financially, well, there's another way that you can also help us out that does not involve any money, and that's by supporting our channels, by following, subscribing to this channel, and just locking in with us, hitting us the notification bell so you know when we go live, you'll be notified. And then also following us on our social media channels, Facebook, IG Live, not IG Live, IG, following at the BCU on both of those platforms. And that's how you help us to grow. The larger this platform becomes, the larger reach we have, the larger our voice. And I'm gonna get into that too a little bit later, because I think we need to make sure we go back to why we're here. And so I'm gonna talk about it. So yeah, everybody doing good tonight, I hope. Let me hit these comments one more time. We got C-Man Sacks. I don't know who that is, but I don't know your name. But what's up? My brother Kevin Gore. Kevin Gore, we gonna fight, dog. You already know why. We gonna fight. I'm just jiving. Brother Jackson, regular. Hello. And I'm gonna keep trying to get to y'all in the comments. And yeah. So we got some news. Before I get into, I'm gonna respond properly to the show last week, because I do think there's some direct things that I'd like to talk to, but also there were some broader implications, I think, of the discussion that I think we need to talk about. And so if you give me a second, we got some school news. If you've been paying attention, basketball just won their fourth straight. They beat Alcorn last night. They're sitting in sole first place in the SWAC, and right now, they're living up to the hype. They were picked to finish first in the SWAC, and right now they're sitting first in the SWAC. They're fresh off of that big ugly win against Jackson State. That was so nice to see. They beat them by 37 the other night. Like, I love that, because y'all know Jackson State, they fan base know how to talk. They know how to talk, man. So it was good to get that kind of a win against them at home. Moore Gymnasium has turned into one of those places that's really, really tough to play because those kids and the fans show up. So that's been a pretty big deal. And so, yeah, shout out to the basketball team. And then the band, which there'll be a topic tonight. But they have the audition season is kind of kicked off. And so any kids that's interested in being a part of the program, this is a good time to start telling them to connect. And they got a QR code there. I think the band posted it on their social channels as well. So it's one of those very important times for kids that are trying to be in the program. Send them the information, let them know it's time to get them chops ready. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Wells will be at their schools or at some event to audition them at some point in the coming days and weeks. And then last little bit of news, let me just spend a little bit of time on this. We are still looking for people to join our project. It's an unnamed project for them. It's not unnamed. There is a name, but we're not sharing the deets yet. But I've got 2 people from Jacksonville that has already volunteered, so I think we're good there. I've got 2 or 3 people from Atlanta that have volunteered, so I think we're good there. So now we're looking for maybe another person or 2 from South Florida. We did have one Gerard McKinley, who's probably in here tonight. He has volunteered, but we're putting together a team for our next big event. We're trying to do 2 signature events a year. We just did Golden Honors back in November, and now we're going to do a spring event. It's not going to be an awards event. This is going to be something totally different, but a complete vibe. But I need some help. So I'm looking for a few good men and women to join our team to help us. And I'll be doing a meeting for the event, and I would say in the next week or so. If you are interested and you're in one of these markets, even if we already have people in these markets, shoot me an email or a DM and just let me know, hey, I'm interested to be a part of the spring event, and I'll rap with you. All right. And so that'll be that. Everybody good? All right, let me go to the comments one last time. Let's see. Dion Flynn, how you doing, brother? How you doing? What's up, Mr. Pandy? What's up, bro? D Pandy, my dog. All right. So let's talk about it, y'all. Let's go ahead and get to it. So let me get my screen up. So last week's show, I'm not going to play no clips from it or anything like that. I just want to talk about it, and I'm going to allow you all. I'm not. That sounded kind of weird. I'm not allowing or anything. I'm just saying I would like for you all to hop in the comments. I'm gonna share my thoughts, and we can talk about it. And then I'm gonna open the phone lines up pretty early, much earlier than I would in the past, because I really do think we need to have a dialogue and to talk publicly about some things, and you'll understand. And I also got some ground rules, which I'm gonna share those before we open the phone line. But tonight we operate in love. Tonight we operate in respect. Tonight we're fair. We're all the things. We're not coming. I'm not coming for no mess. Steve Holmes comes in peace tonight. I do have comments. I do have perspective. I do have some of my own opinions, which I'm going to share, but I'm going to try to deliver them in a way that where ears can hear everybody. And so last week after the show, after Mr. Wells called in and he did his thing, and just so y'all know, that wasn't a planned moment. As you could probably tell by my demeanor during that period of time. And so I was trying to adjust in real time. In my mind, I was expecting to open the phone line up and have just some people call in and talk about just what they saw from the band this year. And so it was never the intent to have it turn into what it turned into. But I do understand how it happened. And I waited some days to respond because I wanted to gather my thoughts. I wanted to let the smoke clear. And I always believe in letting cooler heads prevail, right? I don't believe, like, I feel like last week, a person who may not have been as reserved of a person as I can be sometimes. I think sometimes to a fault. I have a very static disposition, and last week I think it helped me to not like try to bite back and debate and do all this stuff, because Mr. Wells is calling in for a reason, because he felt like some people said some things that he didn't think was either fair or was just, probably some BS. You know what I'm saying? And so I understood what was happening in real time. And so I just let that moment just play out. And so one of the things I think is missed in the whole discussion is that everybody on, I think, every side of the chat last week and from the last week, I think everybody just wants the best for the program. They want the best for the institution. I don't think I saw anything from anybody, any comments that were rooted in harm or that were rooted in just trying to trash really anyone. And I do think some of the comments could have been taken in a way that may be unfair to the people or the person receiving it, and that part I understand. But I think I don't think anyone said anything that was rooted in making the program or even the institution worse. It was just they had an opinion that maybe was worded in a way that I think was that Mr. Wells may have thought was disrespectful or not really kind, or maybe not even true in his eyes, and that's fair. Um, just so everybody knows, after the show ended, Wells and I spoke. I called, literally when the show ended. I hit end on the thing, and I went upstairs, and I called Mr. Wells. And number one, because I wanted to make sure he was straight, because that, again, that wasn't like him to call in. If you know Mr. Wells, you know, like, he don't really be caring. He gonna speak his mind. But at the same time, I understood that yesterday, and he even voiced it, that he was pretty pissed about the things that have been said. And so that part I understood it. So, and it's on the platform that I'm hosting, right? So I did feel a bit of responsibility for it. Now, I didn't say nothing off key, and I wasn't going to apologize for something I didn't do, but it's on a platform that I run weekly. So I want to make sure, like, all right. So anyways, I called him and we talked, and I shared with him, to be quite frank, I disagreed with him about some of his portrayals about the show, and when he said he was disappointed in me and how I was running the show, and that my show's changed since I've been hired with the institution, and I told him I disagree 100% with how you portrayed that on the show, because it was, y'all know me, and if you watch this show week to week, like I really am the same. Like if I was gonna be away like last week, I could have went that way, but it wouldn't have helped anybody. You know what I'm saying? And so, anyways, we were talking, and again, I feel like I owed him that respect, because I respect the hell out of Mr. Wells. That what he has been able to build with the school and the band, like he'll go down in history. Mr. Wells will go down in history, and I'm speaking specifically for Bethune-Cookman. He'll go down in history as really one of the top, probably most important or influential people in the history, 125, 126 year history of the institution. I mean, you got Dr. Bethune, obviously he's number one. Then you got Dr. Bronson, Richard V. Moore, Ann Taylor Green, Rebecca Steele, like Donovan Wells. Like, he's up there in the pantheon of some of the greatest people to ever walk the campus. And that's what we got to make sure we don't lose sight of, And so I say all that because I felt that moment was beneath Mr. Wells, because he's so high in stature. I don't know that he gained or anybody gained anything from it. I know he got his shots off, and he wanted to put some people in a place, and I ain't mad, because I feel like if you say something publicly, and if it's a critique, no matter how wrong or right it is, you got to be willing to deal with whatever comes back from it. And so that's why I'm like, I wasn't really tripping on it, and I was just like, but at the same time, I just felt like I don't know that, and I haven't talked to him. I imagine we'll probably talk after this, but my point is, I don't know what was gained from last week. Like, I have no idea what was gained from that, other than we having that moment online, and now it kind of goes viral. And shout out to y'all. Like, I got a bunch of subs and I got a bunch of views, but I would rather get views for good things, not for mess, like not for those kind of moments where we're doing that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, yes, and I'm sorry. I see a comment. Someone said nothing was said with malicious intent. I agree. I agree there, and I'm gonna get to that as well. But I just wanted to kind of set the table with that, because I love Mr. Wells. I respect Mr. Wells, and I don't, I'm not. I have no. I'm not ever going to say anything to like be disrespectful to him, because again, me and a bunch of my friends, we all done got put through school, and a bunch of stuff. So to that point, and just so y'all know, I did write some stuff down because I want to make sure I could get through all of my notes. I could get through all of the things. I'm gonna tell you two of the things that I disagreed with Mr. Wells, and I'll tell you why. The first thing, again, for those that know or don't know, I am a consultant for the university. I support their digital marketing efforts and help them with building their ads, a bunch of stuff up under the hood with digital media, digital marketing, and so that's where I come into play. So my job there is just, that's what that is. It has nothing to do with the AV. Like, we don't even talk about the AV in our meetings. It's literally about institutional stuff, which is perfect, which is the way it should be. But I do work for the institution, so I do have a bit of a responsibility for the things I say, but I'm never gonna like just blatantly lie to people. And so when there are things that are happening with the institution, like, I feel like we need to talk about those things. And I feel like when we were going through our deal last year, and if you all remember back in 2024, I started doing like the 15-minute reels on Instagram. That's where the name the reel came from, because I was doing reels on Instagram, and then it just turned into a full show. Well, if you remember what was happening around that time, y'all remember Belvin Perry? It wasn't that long ago, right? Belvin Perry was trying to have a hostile takeover of the institution, basically. And he was trying to backdoor William Berry into the presidency. And we didn't have anybody to make sense of what was happening. So I'm like, wait a second, like, people need to know what's going on. So I spent the first 5 or 6 months of the platform letting you all know what was going on. Like, this is what's happening. And if you can go back to my Instagram, and you'll see all of the videos that led up to basically the beginning of January. And then Belvin Perry gets ousted, he leaves, they install Pete Gamble and Jeff Branch as chair and vice chair, and almost overnight things changed for the institution. And so we went from kind of digging in the dirt what was happening with the institution, we went from there to searching for a president. And if you all remember, who was there on the front lines bringing you all the information about the presidents? Every time they had an interview, I was bringing people information. We were talking about the pros and the cons. And if you remember, also, we interviewed Mr. Wells around that time. We did a one-on-one sit-down interview with him where he was able to speak his mind about the institution. He was able to share his thoughts. He was able to give his opinions. No matter how fair or unfair people thought they were, he was given that same latitude. And so I took some offense when he said I changed my show, because I'm like, no, I didn't really change it. I'm just not in the season right now to like do investigative journalism for the school. Like, we've got a president. President is kicking butt by all accounts, at least for the most part, that I can tell. Everybody seems to like him. I'm in the honoring phase now. Just 2 weeks ago, we had Linnell Goodwin and Joshua Velez on, 2 alumni who took their marching bands over to London. We had them on the week before. And again, back in November, we did Golden Honors, which awarded 30 of our top alumni like awards and recognizing them for their contributions. That's the posture I'm in right now. I'm not in the posture of trying to figure out what's wrong with the institution, what's wrong with this and what's wrong with that. Like, that day will come if things start to turn sour and we got to start asking some questions. But right now it's not that time. Like, and I just don't, So when he said that, I took great offense to that. And then he says, he was, and just so y'all know, everything I'm saying now, I said to him last week. This is not, y'all ain't getting no tea. This is something that he knows, and we talked about it. And I heard him out too. And so I just really wanted to let you all know, where I am on it. And if I'm ever doing something wrong, if I'm ever doing something that you guys feel like, Steve, you like that wasn't right, or that's not, you're not being fair, let me know. Y'all call me out. This platform is not just for me. It's for y'all to have a voice. It's for y'all to be able to, whenever stuff is going wrong, y'all remember when the kids were protesting because of the issues of they had some mildew and stuff in the dorms, and they started protesting some of the conditions. Like, I want to make sure that just like we went to Roland Martin, like, we can do it in a way that benefits us and that we're not being dragged through the mud through traditional media. Like, we can do it in a way where we can benefit. We can talk about the issues, like we can talk about the problems, but do it in a way that no one is like feeling like we're trashing the institution. And so I just think that's where we got to take a step back, even as alumni. And one of the things I really want to drive home, and then I'm gonna wrap up my little monologue here, and I'm open up the phone line. It's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to have a point of view or a perspective about anything. We cannot be afraid to share our thoughts on any facet of the institution. We can't be scared. You can't feel like if I say something, I'm going to offend somebody. You want me to tell you why that's dangerous? 10 years ago, back in 2012, 2013, and hold on, let me pin that for a second. I saw some comments online, and some people were saying, well, whatever goes on in this house stays in this house. Listen, y'all got to get rid of that type of thinking. That's how we got into the trouble we got into with the dorms. It's because stuff was happening inside of the institution that nobody was talking about publicly, and we were burning ourselves from the inside. What I'm telling you is, we can keep doing that, and then when stuff starts to happen and it's not public, and I'm not saying everything, I'm not saying we got to air out all of our dirty laundry. What I'm saying is we have to have a culture around our institutions, and this is just not for Bethune-Cookman. This is for all HBCUs, because that is almost inherently something you hear from HBCUs and alumni. Let's keep it in house. We don't need to talk about it. No, sometimes the public need to hear it. I was one of those people who said it all the time, especially when the school was going through what they were going through. I was just like, man, I wish y'all wouldn't be so public about it. We need to keep it in house. And then I learned that people like Razi, Tundra King, Taji, like all these people who were being loud and boisterous, like they were the ones who were making a lot of noise, but also creating some change and bringing some light to some really bad situations. Henry Dunn was another one. Like, there's a lot of people, like, they rubbed me the wrong way, but over time, I learned that those people were they were helping keep me informed. And that was because they weren't keeping stuff in house. They were saying, look, y'all, this is happening in our board of trustees. This was happening in this place or that place. Y'all need to know about it. Stop being quiet. So I don't want nobody to ever feel like, especially if you connected to this platform, that you don't have a voice and you can't say anything. Why are we even here if you don't? I know y'all want to come on here to log in to sit and hear me talk all the time. We got to be able to talk about the issues. And to that point, it shouldn't cost you no money. It shouldn't cost you a dime. Another point of contention with something Mr. Wells said, and I agree with most of the stuff he said, but again, these are the things I disagree with. Whether you give, as he put it, valve oil or reed, that shouldn't matter. Hold up, no, but I know y'all about to, listen to me. You need to give to the band in the school, period. Full stop. You shouldn't be giving so you can say something. And Mr. Wells shouldn't be accepting it so you can say something. Give to the program. Give to the band. Give out of the love of your heart. And hopefully Mr. Wells accepts it out of the love of his heart. But just know that shouldn't be how we get our voices to be heard. It's by giving money. Because let me tell you something. It's some rich people out here that got some bad ideas. Just look at our government. Some plenty of rich people with bad ideas. So what I'm saying is we can't start tying our opinions to monetary, gifts or that. I just feel like that has its drawbacks. But what I also am saying is give and expect nothing in return. That's what we should be. That's the posture we should be in. Give and expect nothing in return. The school needs it. The band needs it. The football team needs it. Basketball, volleyball, softball. Programs for the students need scholarships. The GAP program. There's plenty of scholarships. Just give it. Expect nothing back. And so I just think that's a bit of a dangerous precedence to set. And so I think I'm done with my monologue. I'm gonna go and hear. Let me go to the comments, and then we gonna open this thing up. I'm gonna see if I can find some good comments, y'all. And listen, if you call tonight, well, you know what? Let me just give y'all the rules real quick. When you call tonight, I got 4 rules: respect the institution, respect people, respect the platform, and listen, get to the point. Do not call here and tell me your life story, because we got a bunch of people that gonna probably be trying to call in and talk. Don't just get, if you want to give your name, cool. If you don't want to give your name, I want to give my name, and give us your take, and then we'll rap about it. All right, those are the rules. Stick to the rules, and we'll keep the line open until y'all stop calling. All right. And so y'all let me know, what did y'all think about my thoughts, my response? Let me know. And let's see. Who is this? Wildcats 2000 Facts. I give money to the kids. I don't brag about it. Yeah. And you should not. Who's it? Joshua Corn says, I thought it was a good moment last week. We all voiced our thoughts, and he acknowledged whether he liked his response or not. And actually, that actually is a great point. While I didn't particularly like that moment for Mr. Wells, again, because I respect him so much, I didn't like the moment for him. It was actually one of the clearest confirmations of the need for this platform. We've never had the ability to talk real time with our leaders, when things happen. And I think about when we had Dr. Mosley on. He came on, his first interview was on this show. His first official interview was on this show. We had a board member, John Crossman, come in and join the show. The first time a board member ever came. And what I'm saying is, the platform has allowed us a little bit more access to one another. But what that also allows is for some of the people up top to see what some of the people and some of the alumni actually think. And that has some unintended consequences. And we just got to be prepared for that. If you're making some comments online about anybody, you just got to be ready for what comes with it, So, Brother Dixon, how you doing, man? First of all, huge fan. Thank you for joining. It's your platform, brother. Mr. West will be okay. And he will be okay. He and I talked last week. He's good. Like, he's good. Um, all right, so let's do this. I gave y'all the rules, and I'm also trying this phone thing out for the phone time. So I'm going to go ahead, and if the phone line is ringing busy, you're just gonna have to wait until there's a free moment to call. But let's go ahead and open up the phone line, and let's call in with your thoughts. And we should be good to go, and hopefully this works. And I need y'all to tell me if you can hear the caller once they call in. Don't y'all be shouting out, because y'all was calling in last week. I just couldn't get to y'all. Miss Wells came in, Debo at the show. So in the meantime, while I am waiting for you all to chime in, listen, I do thank everybody for the support over the last week. I did get a lot of calls, and again, I stayed quiet because let's see, we getting the call. So let's go ahead and caller. 1 second. Give me 1 second, caller. Make sure you connected. All right, caller. Can y'all hear the caller? Caller, what's your name? Where you from? Hello, caller. I can't hear the caller.
Good evening, Steve. This is Mr. Jackson from Palm Beach. How you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Jackson? Are you you may want to turn your TV down.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Steve?
I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did. I turned it down. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello. I hear you. I think everybody
Yeah.
hears you.
Yeah. I just want to say, my understanding recently, Coach Steers has been promoted to the vice president of athletics.
Yes. We got a
And I want to know, is he still going to be the athletic director?
That's a great
as well
question.
As the vice president and the head coach?
That's a great question, Mr. Jackson. I have no idea. I have no idea.
That's my question.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea about Reggie Theus in that situation, so I'm not even going to speak on it. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one there. All right. All right, y'all. So if y'all can hear, I don't know what was happening there. Somebody else call in, cuz I want to make sure y'all can hear. But yeah, he was asking me about Coach Theus, and I guess it was announced that he got promoted to vice president of athletics, and so I can't speak on that. I'm not sure. HBCU Game Day did report it, but there's been no an official announcement from the school, so I'm gonna steer clear of that one. It's a good question though. So Mr. Jackson ain't heard you. I just want to make sure that other people can be heard. So yeah, so call into the show 404-567. If you call in again. If you were calling with Mr. When Mr. Vernon was talking, then it was probably going to voicemail. So try it again. All right, give me 1 second. Do we know who filled out the role previously? I don't think we had that role previously. So yeah, I don't know. All right, we got another one calling in. Caller, how you doing?
Hello,
Can you hear?
Brother Holmes.
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
I don't know. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but
All right. I got to do this. All right, I got to do this the old school way. Go. All right, you got it.
all right. Can you hear me, Steven?
Yep.
All right. How you doing, brother? Well, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, brother. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm well, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Y'all, this is Rod Z, by the way, the famous
I woke
famous
up
Rod
this
Z.
morning.
That's good. That's good. What's up, man?
I woke up this morning. Hey, I just want to, I always have a lot to say, so I'll say as much as I can in the time allotted and follow your rules. First of all, keep doing what you're doing because, like you said, it gives us access and connection. We need to be connected. We're a small school, so as alumni, we're a small alumni group, and we need to stay connected. Two, and I heard you. Thank you for giving me and some of my fellow Black Rose fellow kin. Our props, man, because our school means a lot to us. And sometimes you have to make a little noise for people to hear you. I know you and I even talked, and I was I'm like, man, you don't understand what they doing. And you're like, but bro, there are other ways to go about doing this. Sometimes you have to confront people and meet them where they are, just like what's going on in the country. What happened at Bethune-Cookman is a microcosm of what's going on in our country right now.
It's true.
And Belvin Perry was Donald Trump, and things were happening, and he felt like as long as he could do what he wanted to do, things were going to go his way. And we confronted him, and we challenged him, and then eventually we used the one thing that they can't stop if you don't allow them to stop you, and that's our voice. Your voice means everything. That's why young people need to vote. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the band situation.
Okay.
Or the conversation with Mr. Wells. I think it was a very interesting conversation. I found myself laughing a lot. But
he's a funny guy,
I
man.
Know both oh man, I was laughing at both of y'all. I said, man, look at my boys. They y'all weren't going at it, but some things were said, and I think it was interesting. What was interesting about it was both sides were right. Both sides had some valid points. On the alumni side, I'm an alumnus, I marched in the band. We do feel like we need a new book. We do want to hear other songs played. We do want to hear and see the creativity and things. I think we've become very predictable. I think we've become sometimes vanilla. On Mr. Wells' side, though, somebody made a comment on Facebook saying, yeah, this year was a bad year. No, it was one of the best years in Marching Wildcat history. We didn't travel a lot, but our band was on national television twice.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember seeing any other bands on national TV twice in 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay. And they did a playoff game for the Jaguars. So Mr. Wells has kept our band, I'll say, in the top 5. And this is just my opinion. Bands are going to have different levels every year. 1 year to be Jackson State, 1 year to be Southern, 1 year to be Sam, 1 year to be us. But I think our band has consistently, for the past time that Mr. Wells has been there, he's kept us in the top 5 and one of the most wanted bands to see. Every band in the country plays Let's Go Wildcats. So we have an incredible band, and Mr. Wells is responsible for a big part of that. So we have to give him his kudos, and we have to recognize and understand that it is his program. He's the HNIC.
He is.
Along with that, and I'm gonna be done. Along with that, there's validity in you saying we should be able to give our input and give our opinion, because we all sweat blood, sweat, and tears out on that field.
It's true.
But at the same time, the validity of what he was saying is, and I want everybody to hear me when I say these quick little points. We are a small private institution. with a small alumni base.
Yep.
The band can travel more and do more things, but they need resources. And we have a lot of alumni band members who, if they'll just join the Alumni Band Association, I think it's $50 or $50 or $60. If they'll just do that, that'll go a long way. Okay.
That's true.
So we can talk about what we want. We can give our opinions and say what we want to see and hear. But Bethune-Cookman has to survive, and if it's going to survive, the alumni have to take a big part in that. We have to step our game up because we're surviving off of money that's coming in from the student body from tuition. We are tuition funded school.
It's true.
And we are too small of a school to keep surviving off just tuition. And I think that's about all I wanted to say, man.
Man, I appreciate you, Rod. Well, let's catch up, man.
Okay, hey.
All right, brother.
Give me a call, man.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Uh-huh.
Hail Wildcats.
Hey, Wildcats. Yeah, I think he has the same points that I have, and I just feel like two things can be true, and I know Mr. Wells is like he don't really see no issue with the book. Well, there's quite a few people that would like to hear the music, and I know he had brought up. He's saying like last week if he didn't play like Laylo or something that he'll get a call on Monday morning because he didn't play it. And that's true because I know how we can be. But hear me out. Laylo was a new song once before, right? At some point, Laylo was new. And I think it was my freshman year, my sophomore year when we ended up introducing that song, and it just kind of stood the test of time. We can create new classics, right? You create new classics by putting in some new stand tunes, and like I think about some of the old tunes we don't even play no more that used to be classics. And for whatever I think about Nights by Nights, I think about Baby Let's Kiss. It's all kinds of tunes that we played for a couple of seasons and they go out of the book, and you're gonna have your standards. You're gonna have the ones you play every week, every game, but also we can sprinkle in a couple of updated tunes. But you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, right? I don't think his way. Let me just say this: his way is not wrong because it's been working. But me as a fan, and other people have fans who love to watch the band, who go to all the performances, who want to see them. It's like they'd love to hear the band's take on a particular tune. Like I'd love to hear Cookman play, XYZ, or I'd love to hear them, play, whatever. And so I think that's probably the biggest. I think more than anything, out of all the things that I've heard, it's 103, 105 comments on YouTube from people that went to the school, that people didn't go to the school. The common theme in almost every single comment from people close to the band, from people far to the band, and they love the program. It's hard to even match up with Cookman. They got legendary band director, all that stuff, but they like to hear Cookman play some different stuff. And I think that's a fair critique. I think it's a fair critique. I love the band. I'm always watching videos. I'm always looking at old stuff, new stuff, because I enjoy it, and I just love the program. I remember I was locked in on the band back when I was at Jones High in Orlando, and being in it was like a dream come true. And so I understand it, and so I just think we're all right. I think we all want the band to just be like the best that it can possibly be, and they hit that mark almost every single week. When they roll up to a game, or they roll up to a visiting stadium, or they roll up to whatever, and you just see them, you just like before they even play a note, like you already know what time it is when that band rolls up into your stadium. And so there's some people that they gonna always have something to say, And most of those people don't even go to Cookman. Some do, but most of them don't go to Cookman. The people that go to Cookman that have things to say, um, are people that I honestly think they still want to see the program like thrive. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go to comments. Nobody's calling. That's crazy. I just knew I was gonna hear from y'all tonight. Oscar says join the Marching Alumni Band chapter. Is that what it's called? Marching Alumni Band chapter. I don't know. Sorry, y'all. It's bigger than just getting together for homecoming. It's about connecting with future marching Wildcats. Of course. What else we got? Michelle is correcting me on the alumni chapter from downstairs. Sorry. I said the same thing. They don't play the old classics we used to play. We don't play them to change the sound, just be more updated and less predictable. I mean, that's, I think it's fair, man. I think it's fair. Yeah, Laylo was a part of the dance routine. Yeah, that was my freshman year was when Laylo came out. Listen, my point is, like, we played Laylo um, for the first time my freshman year, and that was a new song, and it just kind of started slapping for whatever reason. It started slapping, so we kept it in the book. And I'm saying, how many opportunities have we missed in getting some other bangers in the book because we keep going back to some of the standards. We gonna keep the standards. The standard book is the book. You're not gonna ever take them songs out. All right. We got another call coming. Let's see who we got. Caller, you on the line? What's up?
What's going on, man? It's Brian Lennon, spring 2024 graduate from Bethune-Cookman.
What's going on, bro?
Wildcat fall 20.
Oh, you gave
What's going on,
you
man?
gave the whole title. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm just calling to really touch base and clear up really like what went down last week, because I can speak up. I was one of the people in the comments that voiced my opinion.
Yeah, you was in the comments.
First and foremost, Mr. Wells, I appreciate all you've done for me. You got me out of my situation, got me to college, all of that. I wouldn't have pledged without you, got my degree, flew on a plane, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everything you've done for me. I'm going to start off with that. I just feel as though everything that Marching Wildcat alumni have been stating since last week, honestly, has come from a place of love and just wanting to see the program prosper in a sense.
Of course.
I know a lot can get misconstrued reading through text messages. Tones can get misunderstood. At the same time, I can understand Mr. Wells' point of view. I'm just reading the comments, or I'm getting ganged up on, da. But at the same time, it's just coming from a place that we want to see the program prosper. Nobody's trying to tear Donovan Wells down, the band director or the man. At the end of the day, we just want at least a quick little 5 new songs. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's really all it is. Nobody wants the tradition to change. Nobody wants the sound to alter. It's just, we're coming from a place of alum that, like Raji said, put in the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears on the field, sat in front of you and auditioned for the money that you gave us. But we're also coming from a place of now a paying customer.
Yeah.
So, when you go to an establishment, you expect, the best, or if you always go into your local grocery store, you look for certain things to get upgraded at some point, correct? That's just the way of the world. That's just the way that, everything in life operates. So I'm gonna just read this one little quote that I found in the comment section from last week's video, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch it off. I don't want to take up all your time.
Okay, go ahead.
This is from one student, but this is what he said. Being asked to broaden the playbook and be willing to perform for and accommodate more than just our own fans doesn't equate to abandoning our identity and traditions. I wasn't among the students who was within Mr. Wells in the circle when I marched, nor did I try to be. But I'm 100% certain when it comes to the opinions of the students on anything with the band outside of that inner circle, he doesn't know how the band truly feels. I was told personally by current students not to attend the Battle of the Bands this passing weekend because of how unenthused they were about performing the show that they did. The show was just a recopy and paste, and it showed on the field that the energy was lukewarm and enthusiasm was non-existent from the students. That being said, at times it feels like he doesn't value the opinions of students and that he only claims to value the ones that he deems worthy. I still showed up to support the band, and nostalgia is a factor, of course, but once the nostalgia subsides, reality sets in, and the reality is the band cannot survive off just its established brand anymore and be so prideful that it feels it doesn't have to really work for its recognition. That's just the truth that has to be acknowledged. And that's everything that has to be said. So, appreciate you being on the platform.
Okay, man, I appreciate you. And, yeah, those are some good points. I'm going to kind of stay on those for a second. Thank you, brother. Hail Wildcats, man.
Be encouraged, man. Hail Wildcats.
Thank you, bro. Now I don't know I don't know this brother Brian Lennon. I do remember him in the comments last week, and I feel like I remember seeing that comment either on YouTube or on something like that. And people have an opinion, and we are in the age on social media where you can't hide them, you can't run from them. People gonna put them out there. People gonna say what they gonna say. People gonna have their feelings, and either you can just let them roll off your back and you keep it moving, or you let them get you away, or you look at them, you read them, you digest them, and then you see how you extract what positive you can from it. And you try to apply it as best you can. So I wasn't there at the Battle of the Band, so I can neither confirm nor deny the energy comment. So I don't know, on video they looked good, but I can't say that they lacked energy because they didn't want to do the show. And I'm not going I don't know if that was a student that said that, but I'm not gonna speak for them. That's one I'll stay away from. I hope everybody's listening on both sides. Watch what you say, but also be willing to listen when the comments and the feedback and the criticisms come back to you. And that's for everybody. That's for me too. I'm sure I'm gonna hear from Mr. Wells at some point. He'll probably call me and he gonna tell me I did that was wrong and this and that, and that's cool. I'm not a person. I'm at a place in my life, y'all, where it's gonna take a lot more than this podcast to get me out of character. It's gonna take a lot more than Bethune-Cookman stuff to get me out of character. I'm just at a place in my life where it's just like, we can talk about it and we can disagree and we can go have lunch, right? All the other stuff, you can have it. So I hope I can inspire somebody to just, let's see what we got. It says, let's learn to hear criticism without levying personal attacks because my feelings hurt. I mean, yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. Let's learn to hear criticism, which is why I'm always asking people about the show, like, what do you think? And don't lie to me. Listen, if something is wrong with the show, if something that you don't, something make you not want to stay locked in with it or tuned in with it, let me know so I can get better. I've tried to find my footing with the show and how I do things and how I say things and not try to be offensive and try to be respectful. And that was before that was even before I got back reconnected to the institution. Like, I always came in love. Now, I was gonna be real with it. Like, I wasn't gonna like pull no punches, but I wasn't gonna be around here just talking out the side of your neck. All right. Well, people, it's 9:00. I'm listen. Final call for alcohol. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the phone line down if all hearts and minds are clear. Now listen, all hearts and minds are clear. Don't y'all go to Facebook and y'all start writing all of these think pieces about stuff you could have called in and said tonight. Don't do that. If you got something to say, put it in the comments or talk tonight. Let's talk about it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button also. Well, I got all y'all still here. But if we got no more calls, man, I think we good. It's 9 o'clock. I try to be done at 9 o'clock. Listen, I'm thankful for y'all. I hope my prayer is that we can start to be my prayer is that we can start to just be okay with feedback from all the sides, that the school can be okay with feedback, that the football team, and y'all know we get on here after the football team lose a game, and we be online talking all kinds of reckless about. Y'all remember when we was 2-9 and 2-10, we was saying some pretty reckless stuff about the program, and that's just the nature of sports. And so we can't alienate other organizations or be scared to hurt the feelings of other organizations. We just got to be okay, number one, with not what we say, but how we say it, and being okay with saying things in a way that people can hear. And I just really, 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 really hope tonight was a well-received show, because I tried to come in peace. And I tried to not ruffle no feathers tonight. So y'all let me know. Hit the subscribe button. Let's see what we got. Yeah, well, it's not welcome to the real, but whatever. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank y'all for my bro Morris. What's up, big dog? I heard some stuff about homecoming, y'all. I can neither confirm nor deny yet. If something came out just now while we was in the show, I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny. The schedule is supposed to be coming out in a couple of weeks, I think. And so there have been some rumors, but I'm not. We'll talk about that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right. I love y'all. Hail Wildcats. Benjamin Dixon, you have no idea how much what I'm doing, what you do has influenced what I'm doing. So I appreciate you being in here, and I appreciate that comment, man. Thank you a bunch. Listen, all right, I'm done. I see y'all next week, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Subscribe. I love y'all. Golden. Oh, I almost gave something away. Hit me up in the DMs about our spring event. All right. Peace. Love y'all.